Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the East. In this week's episode, we're gonna build a sugar plantation. I was doubting if I should do this on the channel because, well, it's not great. The sugar plantations are the main reason why European countries had colonies. Like the plantations were the products which they got really rich of and transported to Europe because there was a high demand. And well, the thing is, especially in the beginning, of course, it was pretty much all slave labor. And later on, even if it wasn't slave labor, the conditions were so bad. There are no good reasons or things to say about. And I know there are even loads still till in the 30s. There were just, well, basically prison camps, slave labor camps by the Dutch, in which Indonesians had to, work on the plantations. So, yeah, it's always a tough topic, but, well, in this case, I think it is an important part because it is part of the economy of this whole series we're doing here of the East. So, so we have to build it. First off, what I'm building on screen is this train station. I built a cargo station and a passenger station where you see the train rolling in now. But I'm not sure. This is kind of silly, but since I'm playing this game, I don't think I ever did something with cargo trains, and I'm not really sure how to get it working. There's another cargo station in the harbor, and there's demand, and I'm not sure. If anyone can explain to me how I should do it, how I need to get it to work, and perhaps I used the wrong asset, although I love these assets. I don't know. And yeah, here I'm building these larger structures. So let me give you an insight on my inspiration first, before we continue. Here you see a plantation somewhere on Java. The big white building in the middle is where the refinery and the sugar is being made or worked on. And it's surrounded by these sugarcane fields or sugar fields. And there's housing for European people on the side, and they're also within the forests, as you see surrounding it. That's where the Indonesians live because, well, every plantation I looked up, I saw loads of small houses and more traditional houses in these forests. So I guess that's where, I assume that's where they live. I'm pretty sure they are. And the Dutch people who would live on the plantation, the European ones, they would run the management part of the plantation, and the operational part would be done by Indonesian people. But yeah, of course, in very poor and conditions, which are not, well, one of the things why I wanted to do this build is because it has such a gigantic difference in classes. So on the one side, you have the European neighborhood, which is they have a tennis court and a church, and it's all clean and nice and well maintained. And then on the other side, you have the Indonesians, which are basically living in sheds. It's not great. Let's put it like that. It's not great. Here I'm messing around to add more grass, and I used this asset, but it turned out it wasn't fantastic. This asset is too, it's too open, and I tried to randomly rotate them, but that didn't work either, so I just replaced it with something else later on. And yeah, like always, the vegetation part is really bringing it to life. So just adding loads of trees and bushes and just filling it up. And well, this episode is basically in 3 parts. So the first part is, well, the factory part, which we are looking at right now. The second part will be the European housing, and the third part will be the housing for the Indonesians. But you will see that later on. Again, about the subject, it is kind of rough because, it brought so much wealth to the country I live in, but of course it brought so much pain and sorrow to the people of Indonesia. I noticed that most of these plantations are still operational, not even changed that much, which is quite fascinating. On street, I can go on street view now and just see these housings surrounding the plantation. So yeah, here I'm adding these modernist Dutch villas on the side of the plantation. It's probably not super realistic. It would be way more spread out in real life, the area, and it would be more in a farmland. This one is more up in the mountains. It's on a nice, actually a really nice place on the map. But yeah, I thought it was the right distance and a great place to build this. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna build way more. And here I'm just starting to mess around, trying to create these driveways. My ideas of this little town I'm basically building is that it was not self-sufficient, but it has a shop, a church, some housing, and a decent place to live probably for European peoples back in those days. Then making these driveways, I noticed there was a lot of driveways. I'm thinking it's the influence of the US where lots of these people or architects would look at, because all these houses have these really pretty driveways, I noticed. Yeah, and I'm adding these great walls now here by Fiocra. Yeah, it's turning out really good. I really like it. And next episode I probably will go back to the town again. And it's funny because I wasn't planning to make it really big, but the town is actually starting to become a little city now. So that's very cool. I think next episode will probably be the harbor, because this I want to make a trade line. So from here, I guess the cargo would go down to the city and to the docks, and then go in large warehouses. And from the warehouses, it would go onwards on ships and would be sent over all across the world. I guess that's a nice follow-up episode, but I'm not making any promises because so far I'm changing my mind on what I'm gonna build every week. So when I'm making this episode, we're 6. This is episode 6, so you'll probably see this in 4 weeks. So my idea is I'm gonna make another probably 4, if I can, episodes, and that will be season 1. And then I'll probably take a break because I am expecting to become a father soon. And the due date is closing in on me, so I think at that time I will stop making videos for a bit, focus on some more important stuff, and then later on go back on the series and make it a season 2. That's what I'm thinking, but perhaps I'll have a perfect baby who keeps sleeping, and even saying this out loud is probably impossible. But perhaps the baby is really good and we'll have plenty of time to make more episodes. But I reckon that's not going to be a case with a newborn. So it's going to be interesting making Skylines videos when she's there. But we'll see. But first, let's just continue on this series. I have lots of ideas. I should start also making more assets, because I'm starting to get a little bit more... it's starting to get a bit more repetitive using the assets that I have right now. In this case, this church I just placed is a new asset. I hadn't used that one yet. It's based on an actual church I saw in, I think it's in Yogyakarta. And it's just really small, but it's perfect for these little neighborhoods I'm creating. And for me, mostly I detail quite hard, and this series I'm trying to do less details, and I really enjoy how that turns out in this build actually, because this small little neighborhood, it looks so clean, and it really fits with the type of housing. I mean, the house, the modernist housing style is also very minimalistic and clean, in my opinion. So, yeah, it works great. I'm also trying to add more of these curbs, these streets. No, not curbs. Sidewalks. I think they add a lot, and they're really easy to work with. It's the first sidewalks I ever used, which are actually quite easy to work with. And they add, I think, a lot of detail to this little bit more rural asphalt road. And it makes it looks a little bit more nicer, this small area at least. This is also what I'm envisioning is this is what I'm envisioning here is like a small park. You'll see me add vegetation later on. And here's a tennis court, because I noticed in the photo I showed in the first episode there is a tennis court. I even think there was some kind of a small jail even there, and they're probably that's probably pretty messed up, which I don't want to know all the details about, but yeah, we probably have an idea what's going on there. Then I'm adding these, I'm not sure if this is realistic actually, because now, I'm adding these power lines, but I don't know if this, I never knew how these small power station buildings work. Maybe someone in the comments can explain. But these power lines add loads of details, and I already added them to the road coming in, because the sugar fields are of course made off camera. So I just had easy connect and done. Then I'm just adding some little asphalt to make this road look a little bit more nicer, and these sully decals, which are always fantastic to make it transition nicely into the dirt asphalt road. And adding these big cast iron lights in the streets. Yeah, I really like how this small little street is turning out. I think I'm gonna copy this type of streets and add them more to the actual city. Perhaps arriving on the most important question of this episode, the name of the town. So, shout out to my Indonesian followers. I need you guys. I want to make it an Indonesian name, because in colonial Indonesia, Dutch colonial Indonesia, there was only one town, I think, with an actual Dutch name, Buitenrust, and all the other towns were, Indonesian names. So, yeah, it is. The town we're building is on a strait. It's like like one of those small ocean straits between the Indonesian archipelago, or yeah, it's a small coastal town. So if you guys have some inspiration, please let me know in the comments. I really would appreciate your help, because I have absolutely no idea on Indonesian names. Fiocra helped me with some names, but we're not there yet. I haven't found the one I really like, so yeah, it's up to you guys. And here I'm starting to add some vegetations. I like how the pool turned out, and I'm just gonna put so much big ass trees in there, which makes it all come to life a lot. Oh yeah, and these warehouses and the general store, I guess that would be kind of realistic. I don't know, I thought people might need a store to buy some stuff. I don't know, enough of my rambling. As you guys noticed, the ending music has begun. This means we're closing the episode. I'm really happy how this turned out, and I'm really happy with all the great responses of you guys on the last couple of weeks, so thank you so much. If you haven't done yet, please like and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next episode. Till next week, this was Jazz. Bye!